Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Just 2 more days until the end of the week, until you get to that weekend. And it is going to be fantabulous. It's just going to be fantabulous. So, today in your math, we are going to be working on story problems, which I think a lot of us is starting to get a little bit more comfortable with story problems. Remember, we usually use our whole part chart when we're doing story problems because a lot of times story problems have numbers missing, and so we got to find the other parts. And so our whole part chart usually helps us with that. All right, so remember that Google Hangouts for now on is just going to be on Fridays. So you will have videos on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week and next week. And then the week after that, hold on, give me a minute. We will just have videos on Monday and Tuesday. And then after Tuesday, remember guys, Miss Joyce loves you. But that is your last day of school. And the summer for you starts. All right. No more e-learning, no more class learning, no more nothing learning. Parents, make them learn. It's just, summertime, summer fun. So also remember to stay COVID aware. Make sure you are doing what you need to do to prevent yourself from that. Parents, also, I will be sending out an update video on end of the year things for you all. We will be opening up the building for parents to come and collect student things that they might have left behind, and also things like awards and report cards. So look out for that video as well. And let's get into the math video. Bye. All right, guys. So today is story problems, and it's actually really quick. So I'm going to do more of a talk through of understanding than to really do the problem with you, because there's only A and B. And when I say story problems, the questions, and then it has a data chart for second grade favorite pets on the side that you're going to be using to answer your questions of A and B. And then if you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and do the rest of this page, which is day 3. But we're going to go ahead and do the story problem. Now, remember, when we have story problems, a lot of times what we want to do is we want to create our whole part chart. And remember, our whole part chart helps us understand what parts is missing, because a lot of times when we do a word problem, a lot of times something is missing. And a lot of times our whole part chart can help us find out what is missing. And remember, our whole is usually our total, right? It's what we have all together. And then our parts, it's just what is added or subtracted from our total or to get our total. So remember, a subtraction problem is just whole minus part is equal to part. Remember? And then addition problem is just part plus part is equal to a whole. So when we have or we see an equation that's an addition problem or that's a subtraction problem, we can just figure out what is what by just looking at the equation. So if it's a subtraction problem, for an example, if we have 7 minus blank is equal to 3, we can just put these numbers and substitute them in our subtraction equation. So we know that the first number is a whole, so we can put 7 there. And then we know that the part is a 3. So we know that our part is what is missing, right? So we can go here and we can plug in what we know. Well, from the subtraction problem, we have our whole, which is 7. And then we have our part, which is 3. So if we have a whole and a part, we know to subtract. So we would do 7 minus 3. And 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. And so the missing number would be 4. All right. So over here, we have story problem. The kids in Miss Nelson's class did a survey of all the second grade classes to find out about kids' favorite pets. Use the chart. So we're going to use this to help answer the questions below. So question A is how many more kids like fish than birds? The best. Show your work. All right. Now, in questions like these, sometimes our whole part is really not necessary. A lot of times, our whole part is used when we have the numbers and we're trying to find the other number. But the data here is actually giving us what we need. So, how many more? We already know how many more tells us to subtract. So, how many more kids like fish than birds? So, fish was the first word that they said, so that would be the first number that I would write. So, fish, I would go here to my data chart. Fish was 17. I know to subtract because how many more says to subtract than birds. So, birds was my second number. So, birds was 8. So that would be my subtraction equation. All right. And then you're going to do the same thing for 8. And then you're going to find out the answers. Remember, like I said, whole part is very helpful when we have numbers already and we're trying to find the other number. But here, when we have a data chart, it gives us our answers. We just have to create equations and find the answer. So if you have any questions, let me know, reach out, and I will see you on Friday. Bye.